Siddaramaiah is the one who represents that I'm secular, I represent all different backward OBC communities as well. So he'll have to now ensure that there are faces and representation seen in the cabinet. Okay, Nabila, if you can hear me. If you can hear me, I was asking that it will be Siddaramaiah's responsibility as well if DK Shivakumar does become the only Deputy Chief Minister, and Siddaramaiah has come across, as he calls himself, a representative of different communities and caste groups, and therefore at this point it will be very crucial that 135 is the majority number that Congress party has got, and they will have to ensure that whether it's the caste groups, the religious groups, they will also have to kept content with the names in the cabinet, isn't it, Nabila?
Absolutely. But Siddaramaiah being a face for all communities, etc., is all that a matter of talk, Pooja. When it comes down to actual action, every community wants their leader to be there in position. Even for that matter, there was a lot of talk that Lingayats and Vokkaligas, both of them have pledged their support for DK Shivakumar. But it's quite natural that Lingayat leaders here will be sour. You have MB Patil, who's been an aspirant. He is a Lingayat face for the community. And believe me, this time Lingayats have voted for the Congress party en masse. And that really shows that's precisely what has pushed the Congress to this victory. If not, this is the same Lingayat community that was voting for the BJP all this while. But within the community itself, there's been a split. At least 50% voted for the Congress, 50% stayed back with the BJP. So they want to be rewarded. It's quite natural that out of the 42 MLAs, 36 the Congress has won, all Lingayats. And then you have another 35 odd Dalit MLAs. Who's going to be representing these communities? Now, will a cabinet berth be satisfactory for these communities? Will they be able to digest this fact that they're not going to be getting a representation either in the form of the Chief Minister or in the form of Deputy Chief Minister? Those are questions that, of course, will arise, and it's for the High Command and now for Siddaramaiah as the Chief Minister to really quell that. Now, you would say that Siddaramaiah is a face of all communities, etc., especially the Dalits. But ultimately, Siddaramaiah is a Kuruba, he is OBC. The Dalits will want their own representation because they have 35 MLAs of their own, away from the Ahinda strategy. In fact, Siddaramaiah was the one who designed the Ahinda strategy, which worked really well for the Congress party. Ahinda is Alpasankhya, which is Muslims, Hinduli, which is backward classes, and Dalits. Da is Dalits. So they do come under a cohesive group of voters who have voted for Siddaramaiah, but Dalits individually itself are a big chunk. So they wanted, a lot of the Dalits in fact protested, saying they wanted Mallikarjun Kharge as the Chief Minister because he is Dalit. And then you have G. Parmeshwara. G. Parmeshwara has been batting for a Chief Minister's post, or even Deputy Chief Minister was what he was really pushing for. I spoke to him myself yesterday and he said, why not? A Dalit representation is mandatory because Dalits have voted en masse ever since, all through political history of Karnataka for the Congress party. And since they pledged that unconditional support, it's about time that the Dalit community be rewarded. So these are questions that will arise, but at least Karnataka has a CM face. Siddaramaiah is the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Deputy will be taken by DK Shivakumar. Expect a power sharing pact between the two leaders, but not a formal announcement by the Congress because they do not want to trivialize the chair of the Chief Minister. It appears that finally both the leaders, after much of that animosity, have come to a consensus here.
Nabila, I do want to know, and I'm curious that with regard to our colleagues who have covered this very long election campaign with all highs and lows, is this going to be a moment of that breather, that it's not extended, and 20th May, because we've past few days we've had that it's going to be in some hours, and tomorrow it's going to be a breather for all of you also, isn't it? All right, we'll try.
Right, Pooja, if that question was for me,
yes.
This really settles all that animosity. It really settles all that animosity. It settles the confusion in Karnataka's minds, and it gives some breather for India Today, who's been on the ball constantly right from day one. I've been here for exactly 2 months and 10 days, and it's been excruciating. A build-up was great. I mean, it was such a fantastic election this time around. All unexpected turnarounds. Never did one expect that the Congress would win this kind of majority. Good for them. And And of course, the Karnataka's electorate were really waiting for a chief minister to be announced because they've given a mandate and they've given a thumping majority to the Congress party. One shouldn't trivialize the electorate's emotions. So the Congress party high command had all their eyes fixated on them. There was much talk that the longer this would take, the Congress would really ruin their reputation because the BJP had enough ammunition to accuse the Congress of internal bickering, of internal fighting, and basically the Congress validating all those allegations by delaying this process. Shouldn't there have been a premeditated decision? Should there have not been there should have been a strategy that if at all the Congress comes to power, what then? Who are they going to give the chief minister's post to? Have they not even thought this before the elections actually happened? Did they not at all calculate that if Congress comes to power, which they already had internal surveys suggesting them that they are going to win, their victory was looking likely, at least not a thumping majority, a simple majority was looking very likely, a likely scenario. Did they not have a premeditated decision that if we win, we're going to give the chief minister's post to this person? Why was that not communicated? Why were these issues not spoken at length even before Karnataka actually went to vote? So these are questions that one would only ask and hope for answers. Never do we get such answers. We always assume that politicians are usually strategic and have their decisions already panned out. But clearly it doesn't work that way on the ground. It appears that the moment victory comes, and since it was this kind of number, 135, 136, which even DK Shivakumar himself did not expect, it appears that DK Shivakumar had this opportunity to flex his might. He dug in his heels and he said, I am not settling for anything apart from the chief minister's chair. And that's precisely what the Congress seemed to have bought into. Also, another thing is, Pooja, DK Shivakumar is a blue-eyed boy of the Congress High Command. He is a can-do man. He is a man who gives a word and delivers it. His track record in terms of delivery, wherever in fact, his Kanakpura constituency, he's been winning back-to-back multiple terms. He's delivered in a couple of projects as part of the, he was the energy minister, the power minister in fact, and he's really delivered on his word in that scenario.